Hello, this is Kathy Walters, and welcome to HI 111, Working with and Maintenance of EHR Systems. I think from looking at the roster, you all have had me before, so I guess that can be considered a good thing for familiarity with my courses, and maybe not in some ways, but I created this YouTube, as I always do, just to get you familiar with the course. So before I begin, I just wanted to mention the concept of that the only thing constant in health information technology is change. And depending upon whether you took HI 107 as a prereq for this course a while back, could mean that you may have worked with an older version of Near Perfect, which was the old CPRS, which is Vista, which is the old software. And so this is a newer version that we're using. Or if you got exposed to Connect Greenway Medical, that would have been the more recent version when I updated it a year or so ago for HI 107. So it's good to get exposure to different types of software anyway, because you get to see similarities in functionality and that type of thing. So, all right, so here's our course. And so there's the link for the YouTube. And so the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to buy a license for Near Perfect, which is an educational overlay on the Veteran Administration's EHR program entitled Vista. So I'm going to go over a few things here, but the first thing I'd like to do is to pull up the syllabus, and we'll kind of pull that up here and expand it a little bit. All right, so pretty much the same. I wanted to just bring your attention to my office hours for spring quarter. Will be Tuesday, Thursday from 1 to 3. And then the only required materials for this class is to get the license for the software. And so one of two ways to do that. I would think a majority of you are going to go through the bookstore, and it's a 12-week license. So be sure to do that and get that. In the student guide for Near Perfect, which I'll show you in just a minute, you can take a look at page 5, and I'll point that out a little bit more in detail here as we go through, that you can buy it from Near Perfect directly, but you do need to be in Near Perfect week 1, because you have a couple of scavenger hunts to do in there. So from a time constraint, I don't know, it's March 29th, and I'm going to make this course visible as soon as I finish this YouTube video, just so those of you that wanted to look earlier on. So again, it's your choice as how you get the licensing for the software. All right, and then here's a little bit about Moodle, academic integrity, resources, late policy. Most of you know that I do not accept late work unless there's something compelling. So please be mindful throughout the quarter for due dates and to be able to keep an eye on things and manage your time appropriately. And then obviously, I continue to do my spiel about online attendance and getting on frequently and not leaving it till Sunday night. That is not a recipe for success, and it's not a good practice for several reasons, but mostly because you have a problem Sunday night with software or a question. It makes it a little difficult to get it cleared up before the due date of 23:55 every Sunday evening. So the other aspect is that you'll have less of a command of the subject matter. So it's important to stay involved on your online courses. All right, and then just different instructional methodologies. Grading is in adherence with LCC's policies. And then don't forget to scroll down. So here's the sequence of assignments. I have everything else blacked out because I'm updating versions of things and I'm making it a little bit different. So week 1 is there, and so that will be flushed out soon and be accessible off the link here on the website for our class. Okay, so here's the Near Perfect student guide. So I just kind of want to show you this. It is kind of a nice guide, kind of goes through the introduction. I do encourage you to read this. It's just a step-by-step, kind of has links in there. Here's the tech support or help desk if you need anything. And I just want to quickly, for the purposes of this YouTube, go down to page 5 that I mentioned earlier. And here, applying your subscription. So if you want to go ahead and use NearPerfect to get your software, this is where you'll get guided through starting on page 5. So that's the NearPerfect student guide, and so that's important to take a look at, even if you're using the bookstore to purchase your material. All right, so there's no textbook. You've got to get the software, and so the first thing you'll do is create a user account for the EHR in NearPerfect, and then obviously the student guide the link is there as well as up here. This is what you'll need. You'll need the student key, so this is available, and you'll need that to go ahead and register. And then I'm just going to scoot out here to the NearPerfect site for just a second, and up here under the help menu there's videos, right? So go to the video link. And then what you'll do is you'll just scroll down here to the student orientation video, and you can watch that as well. So I think you'll have adequate exposure to introductory materials between the help guide and the videos, just to get you familiar. And then the last thing that's important to do is over time with different software are different plugins that help to make your software function a little bit more responsively, if you will. And so here are the instructions to do the Citrix Receiver plugin that I recommend you do. It'll make your life a lot nicer with working with the EHR. And then again, here's the tech support and the website. The other thing I just want to show you real quick is when you're actually going into the EHR, this is what the screen will look like. So, and then you'll be working here. And so you'll be shown that as you go through the instruction guide. All right, and then instructor announcements, and then there's the student course information for anybody that has a question related to the course. Some resources, the course's objectives, and then just a couple of links in the beginning of the class because I think it's important to be made aware that these links are things that you can go on and do research. So the Office of National Coordinator, which is the main hub of health information technology related issues in healthcare. Health Information Management System Society is a great organization, has a lot of valuable information, as does AHIMA, so the American Health Information Management Association. This link is to a wiki. It's informative. It's a little nursey in its emphasis, but it nonetheless just kind of information. And then this PDF here is a lot of historical websites and articles and things for those of you that may or may not want to look at things from the perspective of history, and going way back to when high tech was originally legislated, and all of the wonderful things that are available. All right, so I'm going to show this week here for week 1, and then we'll take a look at this. So again, the learning objectives for week 1. Basically, week 1 we're just doing historical reviewing of meaningful use. So the things to do are to post your introduction to the self-introduction forum, which is right here. Each week I'm going to have the please read document before you begin. So let me just pull that up real quick and we'll take a look at that. Again, so reading this, making sure you get in and register and get your user account set up in NearPerfect. Do the self-introduction forum, and then the scavenger hunts in NearPerfect. And then you're going to just have a little deeper understanding of meaningful use, which is important, and you'll appreciate this as we get going with the course. But there's some information about since 2010 for eligible providers, eligible hospitals. So these transcripts and PowerPoints that are in week 1 in Moodle cover some of this historical information. And then in 2015, I actually went to that conference for HIMSS in Chicago. They announced the stage 3 criteria. So there's different things here that you'll go through, and then you'll do this little essay comparing one of the high-level goals of D2, which is engage patients and families, and you'll see that more and more as you read the information for the week. And then obviously here is my normal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things of what you've got to get done. And lastly, I'll get out of this because I actually have that link on our first week, and down below here in additional resources. This video, it's an hour, well, almost an hour, but John Glaser, it's kind of interesting. It's just the history of meaningful use and the strategy that was used to get EHRs up and running. All right, and the last thing I want to show you here are what the instructions look like for Near Perfect. And essentially, you're going to be, again, step-by-step, screenshots, really straightforward. So really, this is kind of your textbook each week, going through some of these exercises. But I'm scrolling through it quickly because I want to bring your attention to, ta-da, this. So I'll have this little red thing inside each of the activities for Near Perfect. And what I'm telling you is that you can mark your answers in this document, but this document is a larger document. It has screenshots in it and everything. And I want to suggest to you to just open up a Word document. So for example, in this particular scavenger hunt one, there's 23 answers. You can just do 1, 2, 3, 4 through 23 and put your answer, A, D, write out whatever the answer is, and then just submit that via the link in Word, or excuse me, in Moodle, and submit that right here. I think that's a lot quicker and a lot easier for you. Again, just remember that you have your name on your document and your name in your file name. There's many of you that don't include your name in your files when you submit your work, and I feel like that's really important to kind of harp on you about, because that is just good file management hygiene, to make sure you're identifying your files with appropriate information. And of course, any of you that are going to be working in the industry, that's an important aspect from data integrity and data management. So please be sure to have your name on the document and your name in the file name. All right. Okay, and then just a little bit further down here, I just list the OWL Writing Lab from Purdue University. It's great for if you have any concerns or questions on MLA or APA format. These two files, they're zip files, they're a little larger, but this goes also into specifications for eligible hospitals and eligible providers. And just remember that these are here, because it could be that you may need those for when you're going to do some research. Okay, so I'm sure I've forgotten something, and at least if I have, this gives you a little bit of an idea of where we're headed this quarter. And of course, I'll keep you abreast of things like I always do. And I look forward to working with you all and learning from you all. And so we'll see you, in quotes, virtually in a couple of days. All right, enjoy the rest of your spring break. All right, thank you.